Look at that. It's a wonderful Tuesday night. You know why? The Sharks won. Doesn't happen often. I know. But let's get into it. The first period, less than 2 minutes in, the Sharks get on the board. It is Jan Ruda from Smith and Wenberg. It was actually a really good goal. It's something that Smith, I think, should be working on. He, was standing right in front of the net. Alexander Wegberg won the battle in the corner, got it right to him. He didn't score on that one. Tried to go 5-hole, but he was able to stay there, throw it back out to Ruda. Awesome goal. Sharks up 1-0, less than 2 minutes in. Even though they got the early goal, the Red Wings weren't going to go easy. We know that. They're on an 8-game winning streak, right? Just after they've hired Todd McClellan, the old bench boss, as the color commentators would say. But the Red Wings dominate 2 shifts seemingly in a row, both from turnovers. And we know that's been killing the Sharks this year, but they didn't pay for it, not yet at least. So they got out of that one, out of that section of the game, still up 1-0. Next thing you know, Macklin Celebrini, boom, has a close chance. He didn't score though, but he had a great game, along with a bunch of other Sharks I'll mention later when they come up. But he, nice pass from Toffoli, going along the right side. Celebrini driving the net, doesn't score, but gets close. That kind of sets up the scene for the PK that happened later. About 2 minutes after that, it didn't start out great, if I'm going to be honest. Cody Ceci, I think it was, I don't know why, he went down right in front of Georgiev. Like, dude, you're lying down in the middle of the ice on a PK in front of your goalie, kind of preventing him from moving around, but Red Wings didn't score there, so it worked out. But same PK, guess what happens? Georgiev, big save, leads to Eklund getting what I thought was going to be a breakaway, but he didn't quite have the legs to split the D there. Instead, he cuts back, brings 3 Red Wings with him, just along the boards, and he claims after the game he saw Sturm the whole time, passes it backhand right up the middle of the ice. Sturm, breakaway, clean goal. Sharks up 2-0. That was kind of it, Sharks action-wise for the first period, because the Red Wings dominated, let's be honest. Randy Hahn said something on the broadcast. He said this was probably Georgiev's best period as a San Jose Shark, which, save-wise, I don't know the exact numbers, but it felt like it, that's for sure. He was on top of things, and even though the defense was creating turnovers and unable to get the puck out in front of him, he held tight, keeping it 2-0 going into the second. Second starts, and I'm thinking, okay, well, they're up 2-0. They just have to get out of this period, still be up, and we'll be good to go. Just don't let in a quick one, and they let in a quick one. Great. Tarasenko scores a goal. It was a turnover by Liljegren, I believe. And it was just a slow start, it caused the Sharks to get another penalty. So they go back on the PK. Red Wings had minimal chances. However, I did notice that Colin Graf was on the PK. That was interesting. He had a great game, by the way, offensively and defensively. He seemed to be all over the place in the second and the early parts of the third, showing that he really improved from last season. I heard he got put on 10 pounds. It's a crazy amount. But it's paying off. It shows. He's looking amazing. Liljegren kind of redeems himself a little bit after that first goal of the second period by the Wings on that turnover. He gives Barclay Goodrow a breakaway. Liljegren kind of spun around a little bit. He seemed like he was being turned, but he managed to get the puck back, get it to Barclay Goodrow up the ice, but no goal. At this point, about halfway through the second period, shots are 17-7 Red Wings, and they scored 1 minute into the second period. I wasn't feeling great about it, I'll be honest. It felt like the games a couple weeks ago where the Sharks would be up and then lose the game. Like 4 games in a row. It was crazy, but that's what it kind of felt like. The Sharks were on their heels a bit. They were getting spun around. They weren't getting any opportunities on offense, and they were kind of being hemmed in a bunch. Anyways, that all kind of changed around the time that Tyler Mott blew a tire and slammed his face into the boards. Hope he's okay. Looked really painful. No contact. He just went down, kind of skate slipped. Happens to the best of us. But yeah, had to get help off the ice. Hopefully he's doing okay. After that point where I realized there was 17-7 shots for the Red Wings halfway through the game, the Sharks picked it up a bit. I don't think they let the Red Wings get another shot until the second period was almost over. So it was almost 10 minutes. It felt really good. They were starting to clean up their game a bunch, and Colin Graf seemed to be taking over a little bit. He had a really good forecheck, really good back check. Everything was going well. I think he hit the post on a goal or on a shot. Almost scored his first NHL goal. He'll get it sooner rather than later if he keeps playing like that because he's looking really good. Not long after, Graf almost scores his first NHL goal. Eklund and Celebrini connect on a close chance. They didn't score, but I also noticed that Will Smith was right there, right in the mix, helping out with all that. And for a minute, I thought that was the line, but I realized it was just Smith got on early because of the change. But I would like to see that line in the future. That'd be interesting. Because I know they tried the kid line with Celebrini, Smith, and Graf recently. And Eklund seems to be just a little bit better than Graf. So if they can somehow make that work for a game, I think that'd be really cool to try out. Anyway, second period ends. It is 2-1 Sharks going into the third. And I'm thinking it was a better second period, but we know how this plays out for the Sharks sometimes, especially recently. You gotta stay on it, and let's see if they take it. Third period starts, and Celebrini scores. Actually, no, he doesn't. He assists on Eklund's goal. Eklund, beauty of a goal, and Michael Celebrini, beauty of a pass. Joe Thornton-esque almost. And again, Celebrini drew a bunch of Detroit players to him, which kind of left Eklund there. And that was after Eklund did it earlier on the Sturm goal. That was the second time that happened. I started to notice a pattern. It happens again, actually, later on in the game. But this one, beauty of a goal. Remember when I mentioned it was 17-7 shots for the Red Wings halfway through the game? Well, at this point, I look back at the shot counter, 18-16. Sharks had picked it up. They were 2 shots on goal behind. That shows how well they were playing. End of the second, beginning of the third. They were really getting a bunch of chances, and the Red Wings only had 1 real shot on goal. End of the second there. So they were doing really well. One thing I would like to see improved is Smith had one point where he and Kane were coming up the boards to meet each other. The puck was right there. And he looked like he almost avoided contact with Kane. Like he didn't even touch him. And on the broadcast, I think it was Drew Mendes said, "Oh, Kane must have faked him out." But I wasn't convinced. I think he can be a bit more physical on that. You know, Kane's an old guy. We know he's had that hip surgery and everything. He probably doesn't want the contact either. And I know Will Smith wants to kind of model his game after Kane, but dude, you got to be more physical than that. Even if he tricked you out, give him a little bump, give him a little hit, something, show him that you're there, show him that you mean business. Then about midway through the third, the flurry of goals started happening. First, it was the Red Wings making it 3-2. It was a bounce off the back of the boards. I think it was Gustafsson throws it off the back on purpose, and Tarasenko's just there in front, cleans it up. What can you do? We've seen that play from other teams before. It was a good goal. And Tarasenko, you know how he is. He likes playing against the Sharks. So, oh well. But Sharks go on the power play. All of a sudden, Celebrini, Granlund, goal. It was awesome. Another Joe Thornton-esque pass from Macklin Celebrini. He attracted all 4 Detroit penalty killers to him, and Granlund was essentially wide open. And like I mentioned before, that was the 3rd time this happened in the game. They're caught puck watching or just chasing the puck the whole time. And I don't know if that's something that they're doing because of Todd McClellan wanting them to do that. I don't know if that's a new thing he's trying to implement, like, oh, be over-aggressive. But it seemed to backfire for them today and lost them the game. So, too bad. So sad. Sharks on top. It is now 4-2. Then later in the third, a set play. Dylan Larkin caught the Sharks lacking off the face-off, sends it right to the front of the net, and Lucas Raymond cleans it up. It happened in about 1 second. Eklund was caught off guard, Celebrini caught off guard, everyone caught off guard. Another good goal. I don't know what to say. Got to give the other team props when they have those set plays. I like them a lot. I wish the Sharks implemented or executed more of them, at least that I could tell. The Sharks answer right back with another one. This one is Tyler Toffoli from William Eklund. I thought Celebrini was going to get another assist, but he did not because it actually went to a Red Wings player in front. And then Toffoli with the forecheck, I believe, gives it to Eklund. Eklund gives it back to him. Big hole in the net, puts it right in. Great goal. Sharks up 5-3 now, and they're looking pretty comfortable. Now the game's getting to that point where I'm like, all right, they're up 2, not much time left in the game. Red Wings are gonna pull their goalie soon, but not before the Smith, Cunnin, and Wenberg line gets stuck out there for a while. I think it was about 2 minutes. I noticed they were playing man coverage as well. They were kind of just chasing him around the ice, and the Sharks were getting tired. They were getting gassed. There's not much you can do when you're just doing that, and you can never get the puck out. Because I noticed they have had a little bit of trouble with that line specifically. I think was Liljegren on the ice at the same time. I don't remember, but he had a bit of trouble with that as well in the last couple games. But regardless, they held on just long enough for the Red Wings to pull their goalie, and Mario Ferraro sends it down the ice after the puck comes loose. 6-3. Sharks win and snap the Red Wings, 7-8 game winning streak. So they did what they had to tonight. They went into Little Caesars Arena, pulled out a win, showed some heart, showed some guts after the last couple games, or the last one against Minnesota, where they played well but didn't do enough to win. This time they get the dub, and now they continue on their road trip. Some things I really liked about this game: the 70s line. You got Celebrini, Eklund, Toffoli. They played really well, in on 2 goals together, and they were clicking. So I think they'll stay together next game. Colin Graf showed that he's getting better with each game. He'll stay up for a while, and hopefully he gets some better minutes so that he can really prove it to people and get that first NHL goal. And also Georgiev, I know his save percentage wasn't the best, but he got the win. What more can you ask for? And he saved a bunch of those shots during those flurries of Red Wings chances. So overall, great game, great team effort from the Sharks. Some things to clean up, but there always is with a team like this. Let's see if they can repeat the effort against some teams that are about Red Wings level for the rest of the road trip. So let's see how it goes.